A warm welcome to this service from Newcastle Unitarians. I'm Diana, a member of the congregation, and the theme of this service is kindness. We will enjoy poetry, readings, and music, as well as a meditation and hymns with lyrics on the screen if you'd like to sing along. Louise Reeve will now light our chalice and open the service.
Hello everyone, welcome to our service. Let us begin by lighting a candle. As I light this candle, let us hold in our hearts those who are struggling or suffering, but also those who are working to ease that suffering. I invite you to feel kindly towards the suffering and to hold gratitude in your heart for those working to ease the pain.
Our first reading is a poem by Donna Ashworth. You'll remember. History will remember when the world stopped and the flights stayed on the ground and the cars parked in the street and the trains didn't run. History will remember when the schools closed and the children stayed indoors and the medical staff walked towards the fire and they didn't run. History will remember when the people sang on their balconies in isolation, but so very much together in courage and song. History will remember when the people fought for their old and their weak, protected the vulnerable by doing nothing at all. History will remember when the virus left and the houses opened and the people came out and hugged and started again, kinder than before. History will remember by Donna Ashworth.
All done. Just imagine it. The parties nationwide. The day Big Boris says, lockdown's over, go on, get back outside. The pubs, they'll be jumping, and we'll all be en route, and my grannies will be waiting, kettles boiled, biscuit tin out. The bairns, they'll be buzzing to see their pals in school, and we'll be in awe in Asda to see the toilet roll shelves all full. That forced cheeky Big Mac and forced beer garden jaunt, forced proper date night with the missus, forced day of do what you want. We'll probably all be greeting, cuddling the folk we've missed, and then finally it'll hit us, what it really means to exist. 'Cause aye, these times are hard, and it's annoyed everyone, but if there's anything that'll get us through, it's how we'll feel when it's all done. All done by Amy F. Torrance.
Compassion and kindness. Think of a time someone was kind to you. Did it make you feel uplifted, connected, supported, nurtured? Acts of kindness not only can help to support and meet the recipient's physical needs, such as having grocery shopping done by a neighbour or physically being cared for when ill, but nourish the person internally, promoting well-being, happiness, calm, and belonging. We are very much a social, interdependent species, and we need to feel connected to and secure with other human beings. A sense of shared meaning is essential for combating loneliness. This virus offers us an immediate sense of shared experience. Our day-to-day commitments may still look different, but the underlying situation is shared by all of us. This shared meaning can encourage us to feel connected to other human beings, all other human beings, whether we see any of them or not. And that connection helps foster a sense of kindliness towards others. The Dalai Lama believes strongly that the purpose of life is to be happy, and developing a sense of peace in oneself is key to this. He writes on his website that he has found in his own life that producing this inner tranquility can come from the development of love and compassion. The more we care for the happiness of others, the greater our own sense of well-being becomes. Cultivating a close, warm-hearted feeling for others automatically puts the mind at ease. This helps remove whatever fears or insecurities we may have, and gives us the strength to cope with any obstacles we encounter. It is the ultimate source of success in life, he says. At first glance, this may seem paradoxical, that focusing outwards on others improves our own well-being. But more and more research is showing that kindness not only helps the recipient, but also the giver. Studies are finding that being kind increases feelings of happiness, life satisfaction, and well-being across a range of ages and backgrounds. And this seems to happen whether the recipient of your kindness is someone you know well or is directed to society more broadly. Some studies are even showing that simply remembering times you were kind can increase your own feelings of well-being. It is important to note here that the motivation for helping others impacts on your own well-being. And if you act from a place of genuine kindness, of warm-hearted concern for another person, your own happiness is better supported. If you are acting out of obligation or hope for reward, this is not true kindness and nourishes neither recipient nor giver in the same way. This year's Mental Health Awareness Week had the theme of kindness. The campaign explained kindness as having three main elements: considering the feelings of others, as it is worth noting that what may be intended as a kindness may not be perceived by the recipient that way; being accepting, courteous, and loving towards others; and behaving honorably towards them. But the campaign also defined kindness as a gesture motivated by genuine warm feelings for others, meaning it is not just an emotion, but is also an act, big or small. In her book, How to Be Human, mindfulness writer and comedian Ruby Wax writes that the word compassion comes from the Latin word compati, meaning to suffer with. With compassion, step one is feeling the pain of another, and the big step two is being motivated to relieve it. It's the will to act that defines it, rather than just feeling someone else's pain. You feel you actually want to go out and do something about it, she writes. This means that kindness begins with a connection to another person by understanding their situation and empathizing with their feelings, and then moving towards relieving that suffering. Trying actively to develop warm-hearted and unconditional kindness towards others can help us act from true compassion, as some research has shown that if we see a suffering person as undeserving of help, we are more likely to feel anger and shame. Cultivating a sense of kindness towards others, such as through a regular practice of loving-kindness meditation, in which you direct unconditionally kind attitudes towards oneself and others, can help us to really feel more connected to others, to reduce our own stress, to start to act in the world more from a place of compassion. And it helps us to see more opportunities to be kind, motivating us to engage in behaviors that benefit those around us and our communities. Here we come to another component of kindness and compassion, and that is self-compassion. We explored the idea of self-compassion in our service on resilience last week, of developing a feeling of friendliness towards ourselves and our emotions. Directing a sense of kindness towards ourselves helps us feel calmer, more stable, and produces a sort of kindness feedback loop that encourages kindness towards others, which, as we have seen, further increases our own sense of well-being. Some recent studies reported on by the Mental Health Foundation indicate that nearly half of UK adults surveyed agreed that being kind to themselves positively impacts on their mental health, but also that we are more likely to be kind to ourselves when we receive social support and kindness from others. If you are kind to me, I am more likely to be kind to myself. When I am kind to myself, I am more likely to be kind to you. If I am kind to you, you are more likely to be kind back to me, to yourself, and to others, and round it goes. If we feel compassion for another, but we do not feel we have the resources to help, we may feel anxiety and fear instead of calm and warm. But research is showing that the more we aim to be kind to ourselves, the easier any sense of helplessness becomes to bear. But moreover, that inwardly directed kindness makes us more stable, able to feel others' pain without being overwhelmed, and therefore helps us to be better equipped to help others. Rick Hanson, another mindfulness writer for mindful.org, stated in an article in 2014 on this kindness loop that if you get a sense of other people and find compassion for them, you will feel better yourself. In a relationship, one of the best ways to get your own needs met is to take maximum responsibility for meeting the needs of the other person, maximum reasonable responsibility. Besides being benevolent, which feels good in its own right, it's your best odds strategy for getting treated better by others. This approach is the opposite of being a doormat. It puts you in a stronger position. Flip it the other way, and it is also true. Kindness to yourself is kindness to others. As your own well-being increases, you're more able and likely to be patient, supportive, forgiving, and loving. To take care of them, you've got to take care of yourself. Otherwise, you start running on empty. As you grow happiness and other inner strengths inside yourself, you've got more to offer to others. Kindness to you is kindness to me, and kindness to me is kindness to you. It's a genuine and beautiful two-way street. To take care of yourself, take care of others.
The Mental Health Foundation also explained the importance of gratitude in kindness. Quoting from their webpage on recent research, they say, "Gratitude also has an important role to play in encouraging kindness. When we express gratitude to someone who has helped us, research suggests that this can make them feel more valued and motivate them to act kindly again in future. In fact, even just feeling grateful, particularly in response to someone else's kindness, is associated with greater well-being and an increase in behaviors that benefit others." Interventions that focus on gratitude, particularly those where participants directly act on feelings of gratitude, such as writing and delivering a thank you note, may therefore have a significant part to play in fostering kindness. Part of the Buddhist tradition of loving kindness involves being able to direct this feeling towards not only yourself and people you like, but also towards those with whom you experience conflict and dislike. Ruby Wax writes that, "We don't have to like the person we have empathy for. We just need to imagine ourselves in their shoes." You can take this even further. If you can feel empathy for someone who's harmed you, you're in the big league. Although we have seen how this pandemic has inspired acts of kindness, it has also inspired enormous hatred and suspicion at the same time. There have been many reports of massive increases in racism and conspiracy theories as fearful people try to find a scapegoat. Fear switches off your rational brain, meaning it is harder to see facts clearly, and you are more likely to lash out, be unable to reason sensibly, and fail to feel kindly towards yourself or others. The Dalai Lama says that, "For a person who cherishes compassion and love, the practice of tolerance is essential, and for that, an enemy is indispensable. We should feel grateful to our enemies, for it is they who can best help us develop a tranquil mind." I encourage you to feel loving kindness towards such people spreading hatred and fear. They may be suffering just as much, if not more, than many people struggling directly as a result of the virus. We shared some of Reverend John Harley's thoughts on fear in our service last week. In his same article, he explored the ideas of eco-philosopher Joanna Macy, who feels that our high-consumption lifestyle can lead us to be disconnected from our planet, numb to its suffering and numb to our own. She says that the most radical thing any of us can do at this time is to be present with what is happening in the world. We looked at the importance of being present to our own feelings and emotions with non-judgmental curiosity. We can bring that same awareness to the world. The Mental Health Foundation chose kindness as its theme for Mental Health Awareness Week 2020 because it is one way to promote and protect good mental health for all. But although they have highlighted the benefits of kindness for individual well-being, they draw attention to the need to go beyond the individual. They want to see kindness being valued within our communities, local and national organizations, and political institutions. For example, they write, "In the healthcare sector, it has been suggested that a focus on intelligent kindness, in which efforts are made to nurture kindness and compassion, could result in wide-reaching improvements in patient satisfaction and staff morale. This model posits that if healthcare staff are well supported and provided with the space to reflect and process the emotions that arise from the challenging work they do, they are more likely to feel safe and affirmed, and their capacity for empathy is likely to expand, resulting in greater trust and connection among staff and patients. This ultimately leads to better outcomes for patients and staff, and creates an environment that facilitates more kindness." Organizational decisions are then judged by the degree to which they support this cycle of kindness. This represents one model of embedding kindness in the values of organizations, which could be applied across a range of sectors and institutions. A survey they carried out also found that over half of us would like to see politicians value kindness, and around a third of us want to see kindness prioritized in policy making and service provision. This figure went up, though, when participants were asked the same question specifically related to the current pandemic. 40% of UK adults agreed that it is important that politicians prioritise kindness in policy making, and 43% agreed that it is important politicians prioritise kindness in service provision after the pandemic. They write that kindness has a critical role to play in policy and policies rooted in the values of kindness, empathy, dignity and respect have great potential to reduce inequality and discrimination, and strengthen relationships and trust between governments, citizens and society. They further urged central and local governments across the UK to take preventative action rooted in justice and kindness to protect people's mental health. This pandemic has shown many of us our capacity for kindness and caring, and many have expressed a strong desire that this compassionate stance should continue after it's all over. But it won't happen by itself. It will require practicing kindness in ourselves, conscious benevolent action, and campaigning for kindness as a priority everywhere that we see it missing. An extra note, Tuesday the 9th of June is Empathy Day. How could you mark this day? I leave you with these words from Winston Churchill. We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give.
We will now follow a guided loving kindness meditation. Sit comfortably. Either soften and slightly lower your gaze or close your eyes. Take a few gentle, slow breaths to center yourself. Imagine breathing into your heart. Repeat these phrases to yourself. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I be healthy, peaceful, and strong. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I be healthy, peaceful, and strong. Move on to think about someone who has helped you in your life. Someone who has been kind to you. Someone who makes you smile and feel warm when you. If you can, picture them in front of you. Direct the same phrases to this person. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy, peaceful, and strong. May you be happy. May you be. May you be healthy, peaceful, and strong. You do not need to struggle to create a feeling or sentiment. Just focus on repeating the phrases. But if warmth and kindness arise, direct them towards. If you become distracted, just begin again. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy, peaceful, and strong. Move on to thinking of someone with whom you have had difficulty or a conflict. Picture them as you did your friend or loved one. Offer loving kindness to this person by repeating the same phrases. May you be safe. May you be healthy, peaceful, and strong. You may feel some anger here, and that's fine. If you do, just notice the anger with kindness, curiosity towards your own emotional response. Then continue gently with the phrases. End by expanding this offering of loving kindness to the world. You may start with specific groups of people, such as family, key workers, politicians, anyone suffering or in distress. Then the planet's animals and plants. Just expand your awareness. Offer loving kindness as widely as you can. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy, peaceful, and strong.
As I extinguish our candle, let us end on a prayer. May we who are merely inconvenienced remember those whose lives are at stake. May we who have no risk factors remember those most vulnerable. May we who have the luxury of working from home remember those who must choose between preserving their health and paying their rent. May we who have the flexibility to care for our children when their schools close remember those who have no options. May we who have to cancel our trips remember those who have no safe place to go. May we who are losing our margin money, our savings in the tumult of the economic market, remember those who have no margin at all. May we who settle in for a quarantine at home remember those who have no home. As fear grips our country, let us choose love. And during this time when we may not be able to physically wrap our arms around each other, let us find ways to be the loving embrace of God to our neighbours. Amen.